2 to 3 years. This caused Palestinians to leave, shift from the old city outside.
I served in Hebron in 2 different periods of times. I came first as a soldier in the end of 2001 till middle of 2002. And then I came back as a commander in March 2003 till like around December. And the first 2-3 weeks that we came to Hebron, when we went down to the city, you were all shocked. You know, you're sent to wheeled shops and doors for Palestinians' houses. You see sterilized streets where Palestinians are forbidden to walk and only Jews are allowed to walk there. You have to force curfew for all the time, invade houses on a daily basis. You go and walk on the streets and you find yourself in front of graffitis that probably in Germany sounds, it sounds familiar, better than to us. Such as Arab to the gas chambers, gas the Arabs, Arabs out with the Stars of David and Hebrew in the middle. And there was a group of my platoon in the beginning who thought to refuse to serve in Hebron. We were shocked. We didn't believe what's going on, You come to a place that we have 2 sets of law by definition, that the orders are that you have to protect the settlers, and if you see them attacking Palestinians, you're not allowed to arrest them.
Of course, there are many military people who are being sent there and come back from there full of hatred against the settlers. Because the settlers are treating these military people as servants. They treat the military as a kind of personal security detachment whose job was to obey and serve the settlers. But the Israeli army has been infiltrated for many years now by the settlers. And in Hebron, this is very obvious. The army is a part of the settlement. The settlement is closely connected with the army.
The security presence in Hebron is heavy. Unfortunately, there are people that are trying to kill us. Many of the terrorists that wander around trying to blow themselves up anywhere from Beersheba up to Haifa have come out of Hebron. And the presence, the military presence is here is to protect us, but it's also to try to weed out these terrorists and see to it that they don't get to Tel Aviv and blow themselves up.
Although legally they are there to protect everyone, to impose the law on everyone, the actual soldier stationed there understands his job as protecting the settlers and stopping Palestinian terror.
Okay, so we will start. Probably will be guided by David Wilder to the left and Ophel. David is the spokesman for foreign press of the settlement of Hebron, and Ophel is documenting our work. I just offered them to speak with you guys to give their point of view, and they refuse because they say they don't cooperate with traitors during a wartime like today, traitors like me. So you will get only one perspective today, and I'm sorry for that.
I don't call him military. Yuda Shaul, who leads the group, is in any other normal country, they would put him on trial for treason and hang him. But unfortunately, Israel hasn't reached that level yet of justice. People express their opinions. Some people are put in jail when they express their opinions because it's called incitement and whatever. He does what he does. That's considered to be legitimate. However, I don't relate to them too much importance or significance.
Around the beginning of 2004, when I was in a platoon sergeant, I started to sit down and try to imagine my life as a civilian. And for me, that moment, I don't know how you could call it, but I find it always difficult in Hebrew to describe it, so for sure in English, but maybe you can call it an enlightenment moment. For me, this moment of trying to think as a civilian, stop thinking as a professional combat soldier. It's like, I don't know, you wake up every morning in front of the mirror, you brush your hair, you brush your teeth, you see your face, you smile to yourself. That morning you wake up, you stand in front of the mirror, and suddenly you see horns on your head. You realize that you're a monster. You realize, that in the past 2 years and 10 months it was the helmet, gun, and uniform acting something else, that it's not Yuda. But when you think of it 1 second, you realize that it is Yuda. It's not the uniform that we're acting without a person. It's you, and you can't take it away. You start to realize that something mad went on. And for me, when I realized that, I felt that I can't continue my life without doing something with it. And the best way to do it is to bring people to the field, to let them to feel, to touch, to smell, to see. And to confront the society with the moral price of the occupation.
When you love somebody very, very much, and you love something very much, by nature, you stare at that person, you stare at that thing. You can't keep your eyes off of that person or place or thing. And God created the whole world, but his headquarters is Eretz Yisrael.
There are many Jewish communities, and not only Jewish communities, which understand the importance of Hebron to the Jewish people, the significance of Hebron, the significance of Jews living here, and people are able to express that support in different ways. Some people come to visit, some people send letters, some people wish to donate some of their money, and I think that proves without any doubt that people understand the importance of a Jewish community here in Hebron.
Our next stop, we'll go to a museum and learn about 1929. Welcome everyone to Beit Hadassah. In 1929, my friends, the Jewish community here lives in a disillusion that they actually have peaceful coexistence with their Arab neighbors. And they feel that here they're safe, here nothing bad will happen to them, here the Arabs would never dare attack or make problems. Here you can see a little bit the people that were killed and murdered, 67, and remember, in 1929 there was no West Bank. There were no settlers, there were no settlements, there were no legal outposts. And look what they did to us back then. This is just a little flavor, God forbid, what they want to do to us today.
During that year in August of 1929, there were riots throughout Israel. Those riots climaxed in Hebron itself, here, where 67 Jews were murdered and another 70 were wounded. And the people who survived were expelled. They were thrown out by the British who were then ruling here. And as a result of that, basically, the Jewish community came to an abrupt end. So something that I try to stress, which people have a difficult time accepting, but what can you do? It's the truth. When we came to Hebron in 1967, we didn't occupy a foreign city. We came back home. We came back to the first Jewish city in the land of Israel.
I want you to look at the faces of those Jews who were killed, sanctifying God's oneness. Shmuel Levi Rosenholz, the master of the yeshiva.
The narrative of the settlers and their claim starts from, we are a continuation to the Jewish community who lived there, was deported from here by the massacre. And that's not the truth. Of course, there are some people who come from families who live there that agree with the settlements. But there are a lot people who come from the Jewish community of Hebron who are against, fundamentally against the settlement of Hebron, fundamentally against the idea that 650 people can, have all their rights in the back of 150,000 people.